Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. My name is Edna, a member of EMC SDA Church in Eldoret, and we're here to talk about something small about mental health and substance abuse. I've titled my talk Caring for the Mind, Faith, Mental Health, and Freedom from Substance Abuse. But before we indulge deeper, let me ask you something. I want to ask you something very simple but yet very important. How many people around you are truly okay? Like, really, really okay? How many people around you are truly okay? How many people are just pretending to be okay? Because the truth is, some people look okay from the outwards, but in reality, that is a mask they are wearing. That is what human beings are really good at. Being okay, yet they are not okay. Some are smiling, some are active in church, some are even the loudest and the funniest in the room. So, what is mental health really? The Bible in 3 John 3, 3 John 1 verse 2 says, Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be in health, just as your soul prospers. This shows us that God cares about every part of our body, of us, not just our body. Our mind and our spirits are also His interests. And today, I want to begin by clearly saying that struggling mentally or emotionally does not make you weak. It actually makes you human. Because life can happen to the very best of us. Now, let's think about what mental health really looks like. And I want to begin by giving you a very small story. There was this young lady in church who was always smiling, always active, always singing, here, there, everywhere, looking after kids. But then one day, she broke down and said, I am done pretending. I am tired. That moment shocked everybody because everyone thought that she's this really bubbly girl who is always happy, who has everything worked out, everything figured out. She's very spiritual. She has her life in order. But no one saw it coming. This reminds us that what we see from the outside is not always what someone carries in the inside. Mental health is about how we think, how we feel, and how we cope with life. Every day people are carrying different burdens: financial pressure, family struggles, relationship issues, personal disappointments. Imagine someone dealing with all these financial stresses, family expectation, and work pressure all at once. They wake up tired, they go to sleep overwhelmed. The day is overwhelming at them. At night they cannot sleep because their mind is racing from here to Timbuktu, you never know. And slowly, without realizing, the weight builds up. Mental health struggles do not come suddenly. They build up gradually, quietly, and over time, everything crumbles down. Sometimes the laughter is just a cover-up. The Bible in 1 Samuel 16 verse 7 says, Man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. So as a church community, we must really ask God to give us the discernment to understand people in their different capacity, whether they are suffering in silence or they're suffering in their busyness. Faith does not erase the fact that we struggle. As believers, sometimes we feel the pressure to always appear strong. There's this book I'm reading about by Mark Finley and Stephen Mosley, Truth That Changes Us Inside. Page 11, chapter 1, it says, many people feel they have to be in control, that they have to be strong and that by being strong, by not showing any weakness or vulnerability or need, in reality, however, the greatest strength comes from sharing with other people. That is what I'm getting through. The truth is, even the strong people of faith go through difficult moments of emotions. Think of Elijah. Elijah in 1 King 19, he had just called down fire from heaven. And the next chapter, he was under a tree asking God to take his life. That is why I'm saying mental health can really happen to the very best of us. Even Jesus was sorrowful and troubled in Gethsemane. The Bible in Matthew 11:28 invites us and says, Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Notice it says weary and burdened. This means it's okay to feel tired and it's okay to feel overwhelmed. Let me share another example. There's this man who loves God deeply, serves faithfully, and is always present in church. But inside, he's dealing with anxiety. And for a long time, he feels guilty, like he didn't have enough faith. Until one day he opened to a trusted friend and later spoke to a counselor. That is when his healing began. In this book that I'm reading again by Mark Finley, page 15, it emphasizes on healing, and healing by talking and being vulnerable. I mean, God cannot come down on his own. God sends people to help us to carry each other's burden. Page 15, chapter 2 says, I've found that those people who are usually going to find healing are those that are able to take responsibility either for their mistakes or for the way they've reacted to other people who have hurt them. Chapter 3 says, God promises healing when we become transparent. God promises to give us something precious when we open ourselves. The Bible says in Philippians 4:6-7, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made to God. Sometimes God's help comes through people. As I was saying, God will not come down on his own. He sends people, in form of angels. So seeking help is not lack of faith, it's part of healing. As a church, we should also learn to see or become aware of the things, of the signs that people are suffering or are having issues with their mental or emotional health. Because sometimes people don't say I need help, their behavior just says it. You may notice like someone is becoming withdrawn, sudden mood changes, irritability, loss of interest, or being unusually loud, overly active, or always so busy to just mask the pain. Sometimes being too okay is also a sign that you're not okay. For example, someone who used to be social suddenly isolates themselves, or someone who is always making a lot of noise, telling more stories, busy dealing with things. They're doing that because they're trying to hide something that is much deeper than what we are seeing. The Bible reminds us in Galatians 6 verse 2 that carry each other's burden. This means as a church, we need to check on each other. We need to ask, are you okay? And when you ask, are you okay, you mean it. When is the last time you ever asked someone if they're okay? Like really, really, really okay? Yeah, let's take a break. When we come back, we talk about substance abuse and how they connect to mental health.